Hello and welcome to the Nutrition Diva podcast. I'm your host, Monica Reinagel, and today I have a special episode with some tips for new grads. It's May, and that means that a whole bunch of you just graduated from college. Congratulations. Now, whether you're going to be starting a new job or going on to grad school, heading overseas, or even moving back in with mom and dad, this is a great opportunity to establish some healthy new routines and habits. And this week, I have some tips for new grads on how to start this new chapter of your life on the right foot, even if time, money, and space are tight. Step one is to set up a healthy kitchen. Now, you certainly don't need a kitchen full of expensive appliances and high-end cookware in order to make healthy meals. In terms of cookware, start with just a couple of saucepans, one medium-sized and one large, an 8 to 10 inch skillet, preferably one that can go in the oven or under the broiler, a big mixing bowl, which also doubles as a salad bowl, a baking dish like the one your mom uses for lasagna, and a larger rimmed baking sheet. That's pretty much all you need. Now, my desert island list of essential cooking implements would also include 2 sharp knives, one large, one small, a whisk, a box grater, a vegetable peeler, a strainer or a colander, a pair of tongs, and a rubber spatula. Step 2. Now that you've got your kitchen equipped, it's time to stock that pantry. Here are some tips for grocery shopping like a pro. I suggest starting in the produce section and choosing whatever's particularly fresh, appealing, and or well-priced. But as you make your selections, think about what you might serve with each one of those and whether you might need any additional items for those meals or recipes. For example, is kale on sale this week? Well, why not throw together a hearty kale and white bean soup? So now be sure to grab an onion or two before you leave the produce section and make a mental note to pick up some white beans when you get to that aisle. Or if you're as easily distracted as I am at the grocery store, you might want to make an actual note on your shopping list. Now, there's nothing more demoralizing than buying a bunch of fresh food and then having it spoil before you get to it. If you're only going to get to the grocery store once or twice a week, be sure to buy some ingredients with a longer shelf life, and then plan to consume the short-lived stuff first. Fresh fish, for example, should ideally be eaten the day you buy it, but frozen shrimp can be kept in the freezer until you need them. Berries, fresh herbs, and delicate lettuces may only keep a day or two, but apples, citrus fruit, winter squash, and any kind of frozen vegetables will keep much longer. As you get more comfortable in the kitchen, you'll quickly discover the wisdom of keeping certain basic items in stock all the time. For example, having a couple of versatile cheeses on hand makes it easier to whip up last-minute meals, and particularly handy options include feta cheese to crumble on salads, mozzarella to sprinkle on homemade pizza, and maybe a brick of cheddar or Monterey Jack for a quick quesadilla or frittata. The other foods that I always keep on hand include eggs, dried and canned beans, canned tomatoes, canned tuna or salmon, chicken stock, rice, quinoa, bulgur, or any other kind of whole grain, some pasta, olive oil, balsamic vinegar. When I use up the last of any one of those, I immediately put it on my list to buy the next time I'm at the store. You would be amazed at how many different meals can be concocted out of this short list of staples plus some fresh vegetables. Step 3, perhaps the best thing you can do for your health, your wallet, and your social life is to learn how to cook. And the best way to learn is by doing. Cooking can be a really fun way to spend time with friends. Invite a friend or a family member who enjoys cooking to show you how to prepare a few basic recipes. Make a fun evening out of it. Most cooks love to share their craft, so you're not going to find a shortage of volunteers. Now, I'm not talking about mastering advanced techniques or cooking a gourmet meal every night. Some of the best cooking is also some of the simplest. So, knowing how to clarify consommé or make a proper demi-glace or debone a pheasant, that may come in handy one day, but I suggest that you start by learning how to sauté greens, roast a chicken, and dress a salad. There are some great and free resources for beginning cooks, such as reluctantgourmet.com, which covers a lot of basic techniques, as well as Mark Bittman's self-explanatory How to Cook Everything iPhone app. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, my friend Daria Pino of Summer Tomato has put together a 30-day online course that can turn someone who doesn't know how to make toast into one of those people who can whip up delicious meals without even using a recipe. And you can learn more at foodistkitchen.com. Step 4 is to leverage your efforts. You can save a lot of money and improve the nutritional quality of your diet by cooking more of your own food. But there's no denying that planning, shopping, cooking takes more time than just ordering some takeout. Fortunately, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Now, I've already talked about some strategies to make meal planning and grocery shopping easier and more efficient. But when it comes to cooking, be sure to leverage the time that you're spending cooking by making a large quantity. Grill an extra chicken breast or two, or roast some extra vegetables to top a pizza later in the week. Make a double batch of soup or chili and then freeze some for another meal. And if you don't have a freezer, invite 3 friends to dinner with the understanding that each of them will host a meal over the course of the next month. And you might also want to check out my recent podcast on how to start a healthy lunch club at work. You'll find a complete transcript as well as the podcast audio for that show and all of the episodes in the Nutrition Diva archive on our website at quickanddirtytips.com. Our show is edited by Karen Hertzberg, produced by Nathan Sems, and supported by an amazing team at Macmillan Publishing, including Kathy Doyle, Morgan Ratner, Emily Miller, and Michelle Margulis. And all of us would like to join in congratulating this year's new grads and wishing you all the best in your future. See you next week.